Welcome to week 4, part 3, solve for x. Before we start these questions, we will review on absolute value equations. So remember, if we have x, absolute value of x equal a, and the conditions of a is greater than 0 or a positive, then we can solve for x by set up x equal plus or minus a. Alright, now we can start. We have 2x minus 9 inside of the absolute value. So we set it equals a is 17 and 2x minus 9 equal negative 17. Now we add 9 both sides to isolate the 2x on the left hand side. That makes 26. On the right hand side, we divide both sides by 2. X equal 13. Then the one on the right hand, we have adding as well both sides, isolate 2x equal negative 8. We divide both sides by 2, x equal negative 4. And we can check the answer to making sure that we got the right one. So we ask ourselves, if x equals 13, we have 2 times 13 minus 9 inside absolute value. Is that equal 17? And we have 26 minus 9, and we have inside the absolute value is 17, and of course is equal 17, so that's right. This is one of our answer. Now we check for x equal negative 4. So 2 times negative 4 minus 9, is that equal 17? And we can calculate 2 times negative 4 is negative 8 minus 9. Negative 8 minus 9 is negative 17, and it's inside the absolute value. So it's equal 17, and this one is yes. So x equal negative 4 is one of our answer. Alright, so remember that we have absolute value of x equal a, x equal plus or minus a, but the important fact that this only happens when a greater than 0 or a is positive number. Okay, so let's see, we have an absolute value equal a negative number. Remember, the absolute value of some functions f of x always greater than or equal to 0. Alright, now as we see that we said this is no solutions. And how about if we say Why is no solutions? We can solve for it. We just say x, ignore the fact that, or if in case we forgot about a have to be greater than 0, we can solve like normal and we will see. So we can say x plus 4 equal negative 3, right? So our a in this case is a negative number. Alright. On another side, we will have x plus 4 equal minus 3. So minus 4 both sides. We'll have x equal negative 7. For this one, we have minus 4 both sides. X equal negative 3. That equal 3. We distribute that negative in front parentheses inside the parentheses. So 3 minus 4 is negative 1. And now we're checking for our answer. X is negative 7, so I plug in negative 7 plus 4. And we have to ask ourselves if that equals negative 3. So negative 7 plus 4 is negative 3, but it's inside of an absolute value. And this one is 3. 3 is different from negative 3. So this is not a solution. Similar, we're checking for x equal negative 1. So absolute value x equal negative 1 plus 4. Does that equal negative 3? So the 3 inside of the absolute value, that is 3, and this is different from negative 3. So x equal negative 1, not the solutions. And it means we have no solutions when absolute value of x equal negative numbers. When we remember the fact that absolute value of x equal 8, a have to be greater than 0, then we have solutions. If a is less than 0 or negative number, we have no solutions. So that saves our time. Now we have more complicated, but just do it step by step. We can combine like term first and isolate the absolute value. Alright, now we start with adding both sides by 20. So we have 3 absolute value of 7x plus 5 equal, that cancel, 27. Now we divide both sides by 3. We have 7x plus 5 equal 9. It looks good because remember the form that we have x inside absolute value and a have to be greater than 0. Then solutions x equal plus or minus a. Now we set 7x plus 5 equal 9 or 7x plus 5 equal negative 9. So we minus 5 both sides. We have 7x equal 4. X equal 4 over 7. Now on another side, we have do the first step the same. Subtract 5 both sides. 7x equal negative 14. Right? So divide both sides by 7. X equal negative 2. And just making sure, check our answer one more time. So we have 3 absolute value of 7 times 4 over 7 plus 5 minus 20 is that equal 7. So that 7 cancel out. We have 9 times 3, 27 minus 20, yes, is equal 7. And this is our solutions. We're checking when x equal negative 2. So 3 times absolute value of 7 times negative 2 plus 5 minus 20 is that equal 7. And we have negative 14. We add 5 is 9 times 3, 27 minus 20, that is 7. And this is our solutions. Alright, be careful. In this case, on the right hand side, you see the negative number, but don't decide to say is have no solutions, because our form is only the absolute value on left hand side. It means we have isolate absolute value on one side, and then we have a number a on another side, and a have to be greater than 0. Then x equal plus or minus a. But in this case, we haven't simplified yet, so we have to combine like term first, isolate the absolute value on the left hand side, and see if the right hand side is the negative number or positive number to decide our final answer. So we will subtract 9 both sides. We will have negative 2 x plus 10 equal negative 16. And now we divide both sides by negative 2. That is 1, so we have absolute value of x plus 10 equal negative divided by negative, making positive. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. This look good, right? So we set up x plus 10 equal 8, or x plus 10 equal negative 8. Minus 10 both sides, x equal negative 2. Minus 10 both sides, x equal negative 18. Checking. Nine minus 2 plus 10 is that equal negative 7. So inside absolute value we have 8. So 9 minus 2 times 8, 16. That negative 7. So this one good. Now we have 9 minus 2 minus 18 plus 10. Is that equal negative 7? So 9 minus 2 times, this one we will have negative 8 inside. So it will be 8. So 9 subtract 16 again. And it's good, right? Number 41. We do the same. Now that on the right hand side we have a positive. So x squared plus 5x equals 6. Or x squared plus 5x equals negative 6. So we move the 6 to the left hand side to see if we can factor and solve for x. So x squared plus 5x minus 6 equals 0. And what is the step behind this is we subtract 6 both sides. Alright. Now we're checking, we have 3 terms, remember the AC method. So 2 number multiply is equal A times C. It means 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. And that 2 number add up to 5. So we can say x minus 1 times x plus 6. That equals 0. We can checking by distribute it, right? So x squared for the first one, then we have 6x minus x is 5x minus 6. So now set each of them equals 0. X minus 1 equals 0. Or x plus 6 equals 0. We have x equal 1. We're adding 1 both sides, right? So on this side, it cancel. Now on x plus 6 equals 0, we have x equal negative 6 because we subtract 6 both sides. Okay, so we try the same. X squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. It means we add 6 both sides. Cancel that one. Now we use the AC method again. So now this time A times C is 6, not negative 6, right? So it will be 2 and 3, right? X plus 3 times x plus 2. Let's checking. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x plus 3x is 5x. 2 times 3 is 6. So it's good. Now we have the 0 factor term. X plus 3 equals 0. Or x plus 2 equals 0. So x equals negative 3 minus 3 both sides, right? And this one x equals negative 2 minus 2 both sides. And we can check the answer, right? So 1 squared plus 5 times 1, is that equal 6? Yes. Now negative 6. We have negative 6 squared plus 5 times negative 6. Is that equal 6? This one 36 minus 30. So yes. How about x equal negative 3? Negative 3 squared plus 5 times negative 3. Is that equal 6? 9 minus 15 inside the absolute value, and that is negative 6, and yes, right? Good. How about negative 2? Negative 2 squared plus 5 times negative 2. Is that 6? So we have 4 minus 10 minus 6, and yes, that is 6. So we have 4 solutions in this question. So we do the same with this one. X squared minus ax equal 9. Or x squared minus ax equal negative 9. So we will have x squared minus ax minus 9 equals 0. We minus 9 both sides. So two numbers multiply equal negative 9, add up to negative 8. We have x minus 9 x plus 1. So x equal 9 or x equal negative 1. By solving x minus 9 equals 0 or x plus 1 equals 0. On another side, we have x squared minus ax plus 9 equals 0. But let's see, for the 9, we only have equal 3 times 3 or 9 times 1. And they have to add up to negative 8. So it means if they are positive, it will be the positive number, and it will be add up to 9 add 1 is 10, and 3 add 3 is 6. So it's not the number we need. If we do the negative and negative, so negative 3 add negative 3, that is negative 6. And we have negative 9 add negative 1 is negative 10. So it's not work. It means we will keep the original equations, and then we can using the completing the square. So we have x squared minus 2x times 4. 2x times 4 is 8x. We keep the same. And equal negative 9. So to be complete square, we add both sides by 4 squared. The formula is a squared minus 2 times a times b plus b squared equal a minus b all squared. So this one will be x minus 4 square equal 16 minus 9. And 16 minus 9 is 7. So remember, when we have x squared equal a, x equal plus or minus square root of a. So we do the same. X minus 4 equal plus or minus square root of 7. Subtract 4, adding 4 both sides. We'll have x equal 4 plus or minus square root of 7. So we realize that if we have the linear function inside of the absolute value, you will have two solutions. And if you have the quadratic, you will have 4 solutions. Number 43. Minus 5 both sides. We have negative 7 inside of absolute value. 3x plus 35. That equal negative 28. Divide both sides by negative 7. That cancel and we have 4. Now that's good to go because 4 greater than 0. 3x plus 35 equal 4, or 3x plus 35 equal negative 4. Minus 35 both sides. 3x equal negative 31. Divide both sides by 3. X equal negative 31 over 3. Similarly, we do subtract 35 both sides for this one, and get 3x equal negative 39. Divide both sides by 3. X equal negative 13. Number 44. X squared minus 10x minus 4. Now we know that 4 is composed of 2 times 2 or 4 times 1, and it could not be added up to 10, right? So we can use completing the square. X squared minus 2 times x times 5. We move the 4 to the right hand side, so add 4 both sides. Then to complete the square, we add 5 square both sides. Now we have x minus 5 all square equal 25 and 4. That's 29. Now x minus 5 equal plus or minus square root of 29. And 29 is a prime number, so we could not break it down. So x equal 5 plus or minus square root of 29. Number 45. So we have 36. This can be 2 times 18, 3 times 12, 4 times 9, or 6 times 6. And 4 and 9 will add up to 13. We can factor this one by x plus 4 times x plus 9. Using the zero factor term, x plus 4 equals 0, or x plus 9 equals 0. Minus 4 both sides, x equals 0, minus 4, x equals negative 4. Minus 9 both sides, x equals negative 9. So for this questions, we can move the 3 to the left hand side by subtract 3 both sides. We have 2x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0. And we check if we can use the AC method to factor it completely. We have 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And we have to find two numbers with the product is negative 6 and the sum is negative 2. So for negative 6, we can have the combinations of 1 and 6, 2 and 3. And they not add up to negative 2. So we can use the completing the square method. So we can do x squared minus x equals 3 over 2. How we get that? We divide both sides by 2. So now we can rewrite one more time. X squared minus 2 times x times 1/2. Because 2 times 1/2 is 1, times x is x, equal 3 over 2. Why I have the 3 over 2 on the right hand side? Because we can use the first original equations to do that. So 2x squared minus 2x equals 3. Divide both sides by 2. And we got that. Now to complete the square, we're adding 1 over 2 all square, both sides. So now on the left hand side, we will have x minus 1/2 all square equal 3 over 2 and 1 over 4. 3 over 2 plus 1 over 4. The least common denominator is 4. And we need times 2 here and here. So 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 1, 7 over 4. Now we have x minus 1/2 equal plus or minus square root of 7 over 4. Square root of 7 over 4 can rewrite as square root of 7 divided by square root of 4. We simplify the denominator, so we have square root of 7 over 2. So we adding 1/2 both sides. Our final answer is x equal 1/2 plus or minus square root of 7 over 2. Or we can rewrite at 1 plus or minus square root of 7 over 2. In case that we don't want to work with the fractions, we can use the quadratic formula in this case. So a equal 2, b equal -2, and c equal -3. We use this one. That's the quadratic equation standard form. And then we have x equal negative b, so -2 plus or minus square root of b squared, -2 squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. We have 2 plus or minus 4. We have 4 times 2 is 8, times 3 is 24, and we have 2 negative, so plus 24 over 4. 2 plus or minus 28 over 4. Square root of 28 is square root of 4 times square root of 7. So that will be 2 square root of 7. Now the common factor at the numerator is 2. We take 2 out. We have 1 plus or minus square root of 7 over 2 times 2 is 4. We cancel that 2. The answer is 1 plus or minus square root of 7 over 2. So we have the same answer by using two different methods. Before we start these questions, we can review on the fact that if we have A over B equal C over D, and the conditions is B different from 0, D different from 0, we will have A times D equal B times C. So we will have 2 times 5x minus 8 equal 3 times 4x minus 3. And remember, we need the conditions. Our restricted value is 4x minus 3 different from 0. And 5x minus 8 different from 0. We add both sides by 3. We have 4x different from 3. Then we divide both sides by 4. We have x different from 3 over 4. Similar to another one, so we have 5x minus 8 different from 0. We're adding both sides by 8. Then we divide both sides by 5. X different from 8 over 5. And remember that two restricted value, so we can check our answer at last step. Now continue with this one. 2 times 5x 10x minus 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. 3 times 4x, that's 12x, minus 3 times 3 is 9. We subtract both sides by 10x. Then we're adding both sides by 9. That's 0. Negative 16 at 9 is negative 7. 12x minus 10x is 2x. That's 0. 9 minus 9 is 0. Now divide both sides by 2. We have x equal negative 7 over 2. And we have to check for our restricted value. So negative 7 over 2 is different from 3 over 4, and it's different from 8 over 5, so we good. This is the answer. Number 48. When we have the exponent at the fractions, remember A equal m over n. That we can rewrite as root n of A r to the power m, or is equivalent to root n of a to the m. So m is the numerator, and that indicates the exponent. N is denominator, so it will be indicate the root. So in this case, we can rewrite this one as square root, because n is 2, so that's the square root. 2x minus 9. And don't forget the numerator is 3, so we have exponent of 3. I would like to put it outside, because I know that the 64 is 4 to the cube. Now we can set square root of 2x minus 9 equal 4. Okay, they have the same exponent, so the base have to be the same. Now we have square root of 2x minus 9 equal 4. I square both sides. I have 2x minus 9 equals 16. 2x equal 25. X equal 25 divided by 2. The hidden step, we're adding 9 both sides. Then we divide by 2 both sides. So we can rewrite this one at q root 2x minus 9 all square. That equals 64. Remember when we saw for x squared equal a, x equal plus or minus square root of a. So we solve the same. Q root of 2x minus 9, that equal plus or minus square root of 64. Q root 2x minus 9 equal plus or minus 8. Now we solve for each of the equations. 2x minus 9 equal 8, or q root 2x minus 9 equal negative 8. Now we cube both sides. We have 2x minus 9 on the left hand side. On the right hand side, we have a to the 3. A to the 3, I can rewrite add 2 to the 3, all to the 3. And then 2 to the 9. And always memorize the exponent of 2 of base 2. I know this one equals 5, 12. Then negative 8 cubed is negative 2 cubed, and then to the 3 outside, that negative 2 to the 9, that negative 512. So 8 to the 3, 512, 2x equal 512 at 9, that 521. Then we divide both sides by 2. We have x equal 521 over 2. On another side, we have 2x minus 9 equal minus 512. We're adding both sides by 9, so we have 2x equal minus 503. We divide both sides by 2. X equal negative 503 divided by 2. So question 50, we have x squared plus 10x minus 47. Now we can use the completing the square to solve for this problem. So rewrite one more time, x squared plus 2 times x times 5. And we adding 47 both sides. Now to complete the square, on the left hand side we adding 5 squared both sides. So we have x plus 5 all squared equal 47 at 25. Seven plus 5 is 12. Remember 1. We have 72. Now x plus 5, get rid of the square, plus or minus square root of 72. And square root of 72 we can rewrite as square root of 36 times square root of 2. And this one is 6 square root of 2. X plus 5 equal plus or minus 6 square root of 2. So we have x equal minus 5 plus or minus 6 square root of 2. So we can use the grouping method to solve for these questions. I would like to group the first two terms together and the last two together. So the first group, we have x squared in common. The leftover is 6x plus 5. The second group, we have 3 in common. So we have 6x left inside with 5. Now the common factor is 6x plus 5 times x squared plus 3. And remember, the higher degree in this question is 3. So we will have 3 solutions. Due to zero factor theorem, we can have 6x plus 5 equals 0, or x squared plus 3 equals 0. Now minus 5 both sides. 6x equal negative 5, x equal negative 5 over 6. Now we have minus 3 both sides. X squared equal negative 3. X equal plus or minus square root of negative 3. X equal plus or minus I square root of 3. Thank you for participating in this video. See you next time.